Well, Sean, it looks like there's going to be a big one for you this weekend. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. This is Red Card Radio. This is our preview episode of Round 17. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. And yeah, like I said, Sean, you've got a big game coming up this weekend. First place Liverpool coming to town.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
The same team that drew to Fulham that we just drew to the week before. The same one. Yeah, we're getting smashed.
That drew to Newcastle too.
Yeah. Yeah, or I guess it was a couple weeks ago we drew to Fulham also.
I'm sorry. I categorically reject the we're getting spanked. This is the same Liverpool team, or excuse me, let me back that up. This is the same Tottenham team that put 4 past Manchester City at the Etihad. This is the same Tottenham team that put 3 past Chelsea at White Hart Lane. This is the same Spurs that put 5 past Southampton just last week. This is
4-1 United. You forgot that one too.
Oh yeah, y'all 4-1 United. Like, where's the confidence, bro?
I don't know. I was gonna say, we had functional center backs for those, but actually against City we did not. We rocked into that one with Ben Davies and Dragusin, and
that's what I'm saying.
Still pulled it out. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, I don't know what Liverpool's issues are. I'm sure Tamzid or Jimmy would have a better handle on that, but I just don't know. I still have the same questions of do we have the midfield that can hang with their midfield? Do they have injury issues? Becker's back, right? Like it's not the goalie issue.
Nah, they're not. Like you ask what the issue with Liverpool is. There is no issue.
Wait. Robertson's going to be out.
But Robertson was out for the last 13 years, so like he's been like they've already got a plan for that because they've already had to do it.
It might be.
He's always injured.
It might be an upgrade now. Based on the player that Robertson is, might be an upgrade.
I'm not saying it's an upgrade, but Tamzid would argue it's an upgrade.
He would.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not something like Romero going down where he's traditionally pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Other than a red card here and there, and Romero goes down here, like, what do we do? Or it's like Van Dijk going down for them a couple years ago, and you're like, how do we replace that? He doesn't get injured. Like Robertson's always injured, so he's out. He's suspended for a game. Oh well, we'll just do what we did last week or the week before when Robertson was injured again.
Is it 1 or 3? I don't know if it's a straight red.
It's a double. I didn't see it. I'm pretty sure it was a double. No, was it a straight red? I don't remember. I don't think I could find it fast enough to.
Either way, he's not in this week's game.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's going to be suspended either way. So I'm feverishly trying to find that.
It was just a straight red.
Straight red. Was it dangerous?
Well, yeah. The question is, was it violent conduct? Red card. Shown the red card. It doesn't tell us.
It should be 3 then though, because it's a straight red, right?
Not necessarily. It depends on the type of red card. Violent conduct is automatically a 3-game suspension. But if it's like a denial of goal scoring opportunity red card, it's only 1 game.
Which I think this was violent play, if I remember correctly, because it was like that's a straight red.
Or like it has to be a foul straight red to be 3. I don't remember what it was. I could probably find it,
but either way,
in any event, he's not playing.
Are y'all rocking up with your 18-year-olds to 3-point lane?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they played pretty darn good. I feel like Andy Gray's starting to get a handle on center back, where I don't have to feel like he needs his hand held. He played center back last week.
Yeah, this is a different fish to fry than last week.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I'm just saying.
What's his name again?
RC Grays, which is what I said.
You did not.
We were just talking about Andy Robertson. Give me a.
You did not say RG Gray.
Yeah, that's what RG Gray.
Who the heck is Andy Gray? Who did I miss?
But I tend to agree with you, James. I do not think we can throw Archie Gray at Liverpool. I think it's got to be Davies, and we've got to just hope for the best.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like, especially when you've got as prolific a Liverpool as you've got this year.
Yeah. Bergvall's going to probably play though. That was really successful with him at the 8
I mean, I generally
or 6.
agree
Sorry.
with your sentiment about Liverpool just winning. I
Mhm.
think this Liverpool team is very good. They're firing on all cylinders. They've had 2 years of this team kind of gelling together with the midfield and the attackers. So like they're kind of a well-oiled machine over the last 2 years. Yes, different managers in those 2 years, but they do the same thing. So it's essentially the same group and the same tactics. So I think this is definitely a difficult one. I
I
think
did.
I
Go ahead.
think if Chelsea beat Everton and Arsenal beat Palace, I think that could light a fire under Liverpool a little bit because they'll know the results of the people immediately chasing them because all three teams directly below them. I'm kind of excuse me for discounting Forest here, but Chelsea, Arsenal, and City all play on Saturday. And so Liverpool will have the benefit of knowing what happened in all of those games. And so that will affect their
Mindset,
probably
their
their
play
like
style.
their
Yeah.
gumption, like their
Yeah.
their need and their drive to win the game. And so
So I will update a statement I just said a moment ago. Davies has a thigh injury. He will not be playing.
oh,
He's not going to be ready till at least after Boxing Day.
all right, Andy
Yeah, so
Gray.
Um,
it's
Let's
the
go.
kids.
Let's go, Andy Gray.
so,
Andy Gray in the middle.
but the other thing is still on this list. They include suspensions on here. Yusuf Basuma will be coming off suspension.
Hey,
He had a 1 game for a 5 game accumulation. I think personally, given what I saw last week, that is a downgrade to go from Bergvall to Yusuf Basuma. Uh, just specifically against Liverpool. I don't.
could is
He's
Basuma
good. I don't
is
think. I think he's great.
could he play center back?
I,
He's a
I would try.
defensive. He's a defensive
I would.
midfielder.
He does. He's not as defensive minded though. He would prefer to be an 8. He likes to go forward. He
Hmm,
likes to beat the press and push it.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, and he's not like a. He's not a Fabinho, Thiago, Conte, Dembele. He's not a stopper where he goes and presses the ball and gets it and then just moves on with his life. You know what I mean? He's not one of those people.
I'm just wondering if he could put a shift in.
I would trust Bergvall a little bit more at that. I think he's got a stronger. I think he's got a better, like, and I'm not comparing him to Basuma. I think he's got a really high football IQ, and I think with a little bit of instructions with his body frame, because he's about as big as Odegaard. Like Odegaard, probably as smart as he is, probably could play center back if you asked him to for in a pinch.
Well, it's funny.
Like, don't you think? Like he could
It's
maybe.
funny you say that because against Everton, there was a situation where Saliba was out of position. We were attacking and Everton got the ball and they were pressing, and so Odegaard is running back to try and um, fill the space, and the Everton player just like kind of passes like kind of not right at Odegaard, but just like slightly behind where he was, and he does this like awkward thing to try and kick it, and he just falls to the ground.
All right, so maybe I'm just talking out of my butt then.
It was really
I don't
humorous.
know. I don't know. I think we've just got to trust Archie Gray and hope for the best.
Gabriel
Even though
came over and blocked the shot, so it was okay. But
that's not his Archie Gray's natural position either. So
I was just curious about what your thoughts about Yus Basuma was, whether or not he could do it. I kind of
I
share your sentiment that he does feel like more like an 8 than a 6. I feel like
yeah
I would trust Declan Rice playing as a center back for one
yes
game.
Well,
Thomas
he came up as
Partey,
a center back, by the way.
yeah,
So like,
Partey has
yes, he
played
could.
center back, so he probably could.
yeah, like so.
I
Both
mean, like for you guys, well, he's played the back line,
he
so
plays right back for us mostly, but like
yeah,
those guys, I feel I would have faith in as playing as center backs.
just a 1 game situation.
Yeah.
Just get us out of a pinch. Yeah.
So you think Liverpool are going to win?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be interesting. I would. I know it's crazy to say on a home game, but if we get out of here, with a draw, I'd be pretty happy with that. I think you guys would be too. Liverpool drops points, but
Yeah.
I'm not rocking up with this with a lot of confidence here.
I think it'll
They're
be
good.
good. I think this
really
game
good.
definitely will be a good one. From a neutral's perspective, I think it will be an exciting game to watch.
Yes, because look, Sean, you're selling yourself way short here. You guys just came off bagging in 5 goals.
I think we're both
Uh,
5 goals and a
Don't try,
half.
don't try to hype me up. We are playing a
5 goals and a
21-year-old.
half.
We are playing
Y'all
the
are
20.
gonna play like the Phoenix Suns when we were growing up with Steve Nash and Amari
Oh, Mike D'Antoni's.
Stoudemire.
Yeah.
And y'all just 20-second offense. Y'all gonna rock up and just keep trying to bang in goals. And yes, Liverpool are gonna score some, but y'all's goal is to outscore them. Like screw our net. We come in to score.
We are rocking up with a 21-year-old Jed Spence at left back. Mohamed Salah is tucking his napkin into his kit right now, getting his fork and knife out. He is going to eat him alive.
I thought Spence had a good game against him last time, though. Didn't he?
Spence had a great. That was Udogi. Udogi had a great game against Liverpool.
Sorry,
last time we played
okay.
him. Yeah. Udogi is injured. Fresh injury. I erroneously said ankle. It's his thigh. I'm looking at the injury page now. And as of right now, it's a very fresh injury. They just don't have an update on timeline. So it could be next week. They just don't have an update yet. So
I don't know. Yeah, like thigh doesn't seem like he could play. He could play against Liverpool.
He could have a bruise. I mean, who knows at this point? We just don't have an update on what it is. So
I bet Ange will have given us an update after the EFL Cup. Maybe.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps. Should we look to this is the very last game of the weekend. Spurs Liverpool, very last game of the weekend. They saved best for last, which seems like it makes a lot of sense. Should we
look to
look
the Midlands?
Well, I think should we look to the very first game of the week?
Yeah,
And,
the Midlands.
Yeah,
we're heading to Aston Villa Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Villa. It's just Villa Park. Just Villa Park.
Yeah.
The Villa Park welcome Manchester City. So it's Aston Villa versus the champions Manchester City. First, I think this is the 7:30 kickoff on the East Coast.
Yep.
If there is one this weekend, I'm just double checking. But is this a must-win game for either one of these teams?
I think if there's anybody it's a must-win for, it's got to be City, right? Like, the expectation is there.
Sure, but yes, City has to stop the slide, but so does Unai. Unai doesn't have European football this weekend, does he?
Is there such thing as a no? It's a cup week, midweek,
and they're not. Neither one of these teams are in the cup. That's why they have the early game.
Right.
And they both have Champions League next week. So,
is there such thing as a must-win for both teams? Could that be possible?
Yes. And I think that's probably the most accurate statement here. Is Unai needs to win. They're 7th. City needs to finish a game. They're 5th. Right? And it's not like City needs to figure out what they are without Rodri. City has to figure out how to get Haaland going.
I think we figured out what they are without Rodri. It's called trash. That's what they are without Rodri. We figured it out.
Wow. I think playing Nunez at right back was a failed experiment that won't happen again. He's probably going to the bench right next to it was right back.
Didn't Kyle Walker start the game?
No, Kyle Walker played. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was he playing at center back? Did he play at center back?
Nunez was on the left.
Then how did he end up on the right for both the penalty and the ball over his head?
You know how City rotates. They move. If somebody's out of position, you fill it. You know how they do. So I think it was just a unfortunate situation that led to Nunez being on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kyle Walker likes to push the ball up a lot. Maybe that was the situation. I don't remember the specific situation, but
was Nunez playing? Maybe he was playing the right center back.
Maybe they were inverted.
He was playing left back.
He could have been inverted while Kyle Walker was up, and he had the best line to get to the ball. I don't know.
Well, either way, I kind of agree that this does seem like it's a both need to win the game for different reasons kind of situation. More so that City aren't the problem with City is we assume City are going to win every game from January 1st on, right? Now, we say that out of historical context, but they don't.
PTSD is what I call it.
Yeah, PTSD is a good one. But they don't really, in all those years where we said that, it's not like they went on the run that they just went on, right? So they just went on a horrendous run over the last 11 games. And so, of all competitions. And so we're expecting City to be City of old, but is that maybe an erroneous expectation with what City are this year?
Are they, instead of City of old, are they maybe, as Brad would say, City the old?
Yeah, it's. I think it's definitely possible.
No, because you said you disproved this math in your thing. But how old is
old?
Wait. So 3 of their 5 midfielders are probably 30. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and De Bruyne.
Isn't Kovacic also like 29?
Kovacic is yep.
But he doesn't play.
Kovacic
Ake is
30s. He doesn't start.
He does most times.
Sometimes.
John Stones is probably in his 30s.
Ake and Stones are not 30. I gave you the 4 players that are not goalkeepers that are 30 years or older. It is Bernardo Silva is 30. Kevin De Bruyne is 32. Gundogan is 34, and somebody else is 34.
Nathan Ake was born February 18th, 1995. He will be 30 years old this year.
Doesn't sound like he's 30 right now to me.
29.
If you properly understand how birthdays work.
He will. I said he will be 30 this year.
I think the point is well taken, though, that City is older this year. I disagree a little bit. I push back a little bit on you, Sean, when you say that, if you eliminate these 4 players, then they're not old. Well, you can't.
It's goalkeepers. It's goalkeepers. I'm not eliminating the outfield players. I'm talking about if you eliminate Ederson and 39-year-old Ben Carson or whatever.
No, Scott, you said if you eliminate Ederson, De Bruyne.
We're in the weeds.
No.
It doesn't matter.
If you eliminate the goalkeepers, their average age drops a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Also, this team, like we're talking about a team that's won this 4 in a row.
Yes.
Right? Like they're just bored.
I think this is something that someone I heard on one of the podcasts bring up, is that this is just a City team that has been going nonstop for the last five years. They've been playing deep into every season, Champions League runs, this, that, and the other. And on top of that, they're getting to finals, like lots of finals and lots of competitions. So there's just like lots and lots of games. And so this team is playing a lot of games. And at some point it just has to stop. And you can't do it anymore. And the question was whether or not that's just what City is experiencing right now. And I think that that's a pretty salient point, is that they've been nonstop since COVID, probably. Right? Like, and to be fair, all of our teams have been.
I was going to say, all of our teams have been.
But our teams have missed out on, well, I don't know if my team has missed out on Europe since then. But like some of our teams have missed things, right? Like we're not going to FA Cup finals. We're not going to Carabao Cup finals. We're not going to go to Champions League finals. Like maybe we make a knockout stage run in one of the competitions in Europe or something like that. But we're not going all the way like City had, right? And we weren't playing for the title in every one of those years, right? So like,
I mean, I think Chelsea's average games played is like 63, 65 a season.
Yeah, I'm sure
that's including the year we were out of Europe.
I'm sure Arsenal is probably around there as well.
And when we are in Europe, like it's like this year we will play 75 games probably.
That's because you're counting the Club World Cup.
Okay, we'll take the Club World Cup out of it. We're still playing 69 games.
I'm just saying
70 games.
I'm not necessarily using it as an excuse for City.
No,
but I'm just
there's too many. But I think the point is that there are too many games and like they're worn out. And like, what do you have to play for?
Yeah, to a large degree. I don't know if apathy is the right word or whatever, but I think that they're just like running into like just it's this is a step too far to try and do it again for a 5th year, I guess.
I think the point is well taken, that how long can you focus on something?
Yeah.
Can you focus on something for 5 straight years? Because it's really hard.
Yeah. And to focus on something that is very difficult in its own regard. Like
it seems like lack of focus is what's going on. It's just lack of like in the moment decision making focus on what is the right decision right now at this moment, and it's just lapses.
Yes.
They
And
just make the wrong decision.
Tiny lapses that have cost them over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is normally a team that's very impeccable and doesn't make those little mistakes, but they have. I obviously I don't think Pep Guardiola is under any pressure. I think he could lose every single game from here until the end of the season and not get fired.
Yeah.
I don't think the same is true for Unai Emery. And so, in that regard, I think that Villa have more need to win this game. I don't think that Unai Emery is under any direct threat of losing his job in this moment. But at a certain point, he's going to have to prioritize qualification for Europe for next year. And the Villa fans, the Villa board, they're going to want to be in the Champions League. And they're not making a convincing case that they're going to end up there. Now, if they beat City this weekend, that's a different question. But
do you think that Unai has forgotten that you do not drop down from the Champions League to Europa League?
No, I don't think that he's forgotten that. He's a smart guy.
I'm not. Hey, he is the Europa League specialist, my friend. It takes a special team from London to beat him in a final in the Europa League.
Go away, Brad. Should we? Do you guys want to end with Brentford Forest, Leicester Wolves? Like which? We could talk about Arsenal versus whoever we're playing, Palace or Chelsea versus Everton, but who cares about those teams?
I think Leicester Wolves is spicier for me.
Okay.
I think Brentford Forest is going to be a good game. So
agreed.
And the good thing is it's Saturday. So your Saturday second choice, if you're not watching after Villa City, should probably be Brentford Forest. I'm okay with that.
As one thing I'll say, I think that the balance of games this weekend is actually quite good. I agree. It's not like we have all of our good games on one day and all the bad games the other. I think the balance is quite good.
Yes. But on the Sunday game, I think this Leicester Wolves game, it's a 42-pointer.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track.
I think this is a 42-pointer. Leicester is near bottom half of the table. I think Wolves have a new manager. This should be his first game in charge. If it's not his first game in charge, then this game becomes, I think, a lot less interesting. But there is currently, Leicester City is 17th on 14 points. Wolves are on 9 points. So this is a big game that you got to go get. Both teams want to win. Wolves need to start making their climb. Leicester needs to hang on to not be in that bottom three again.
Well, it's interesting you have new manager written out here because Leicester have a relatively new manager as well in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like he only came in 2 weeks ago.
I forgot all about that. Yes, Nistelrooy is there now. Yes,
I think Steve Cooper got fired after the Chelsea match, right?
Yep.
And so Van Nistelrooy has only been in for a week and a half or so, 2 weeks, something like that. And so this is two brand new managers to their teams. Now, obviously, they have a manager experience. That's not what I'm trying to say, that they're brand new managers in that regard, but they're new managers to their teams. And so I think I have to give a little bit of, I think the advantage sways slightly towards Leicester because Van Nistelrooy's been there for about 2 weeks now. It's at the King Power Stadium. And so that's a feather for Leicester as well. And Wolves have just been so dreadful. Like Wolves would really benefit from a winter break this year where the players could go away together and like go to Dubai for a few days or go to Portugal for a few days or something like that. But unfortunately, the league calendar this year doesn't have a winter break. And so they're going to be stuck in Wolverhampton all winter. And
we have the opposite of a winter break. We have a winter congestion.
Yes, well,
yes,
like the opposite of a break.
We always have that.
How many games are we? We're playing like 3 games in 11 days or something like that. Most of us are.
Everybody is.
Yeah,
it's not something I can complain about because everybody's doing it. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so I think my inclination is to say that advantages to Leicester coming into this match. I don't know if either of you guys have strong opinions either way.
Flip a coin. I mean, actually, you know what? I would probably back Wolves. Wolves have better players, like probably objectively. They have at least the four best players on the field. Lamina, Aït-Nouri, Cunha, Sa. Are those not the best four players out of the 22 on the field?
Just saying, Jamie Vardy's stupid face would want to have an argument with you.
Oh well, if Vardy's starting, then okay, then he's probably somewhere in there. But
and Ndidi.
Let's be okay. Ndidi's good, but let's be honest. Like Wolves have better players in that roster.
I think generally, I agree with you. I think generally,
I think they generally just disliked Gary O'Neill, and now that he's gone and we've got a fresh style, I think maybe that talent just resurfaces, even though it's a shorter time. I think I just.
I mean, they're gonna be yelling instructions in Portuguese again instead of English. Yeah. So maybe they all get back on the same page.
Is there any English people? Gilman was probably like, I have no idea what's going on for a while. He probably had to, like Eric Dyer did. He had to take Portuguese lessons. He just like.
Can I just quickly point out that you have indirectly slandered both of your boys, Harry Winks and Oliver Skip?
Dang.
Just back the bus
they
up
better
than them.
Are they better than Cunha, Aït-Nouri, or Sa, at least?
I think if we asked you 1 year ago, you would have said yes.
1,000%. He would
have depends on what shirt they're wearing, right? It depends on what shirt they're wearing. Hey, shout out to
an Audi Cup.
Shout out to the midfield Spurs, though. Let's go Leicester. I forgot Skip and Winks were there.
Yeah, I was the only reason I know is because I was just quickly scanning through their squad. To see if I agreed with the claim that the four best players on the field would be from Wolves, and so I was like, I need to look and see who's on the Leicester squad, and so.
Yeah, I was just looking through to see how many English players would be on the field. We've got a Craig Dawson. He's going to be confused. Oh, we forgot about the Korean guy. As Pep would call him.
Jeez.
As that was Pep's terminology, not me.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't start.
Hong Hee Chan.
Cunha has put them all on the bench, my guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we quickly take a look at these picks from last week before we get out of here?
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right, so if we look at round 16, we missed a few respondents this week, but that's okay. The top, the top response, the top number that was correct is 6, and we actually had 2 people tied on 6, with a bunch of different picks actually. Joel and Chap both finished on top this week. Shout out to Chap for being the only person to pick Manchester United to beat City. I'm not sure where you pull that one out of from, bro, but well done. Joel got, I think, almost everything else. I mean, he was one of the 2 that got Ipswich. And
Forest.
Well, there's 3 that got Forest. So
we also, I wanted to acknowledge that we started the percentages for people that started a little bit later, so that we could acknowledge some people that maybe didn't get the first couple of weeks, but now they're picking pretty well. And our boy Chap is in second on percentages.
Did you update the percentages?
Are those not?
The percentages might not be updated.
Oh, okay. So, I thought they automatically updated. Then he's probably in the lead then, because he got a really good week. So
add another 10 to him. I'll have to go through and check these percentages. Yeah, but we did add those percentages. That'll be interesting to look at the end of the season to see whose pick percentages was good. I mean, obviously no one's messing with your boy James, who's coming in right over 104. Well, actually, let me add. I might not be at over 40%. Nope, not. So yeah. The remaining results, just quickly, we had 2 people on 4. That was myself and Brad. And then 2 people on 3. That was Sean and Jimmy. Not a good day for the people at the top.
I'm coming.
And so
the train is starting. Sean Thomas, I'm hunting you down.
Hey, listen.
I'm coming.
the picks come to me in the night. You know, I sleep, I do ayahuasca or whatever Aaron Rodgers was doing in that cave for 3 days. That's and they just come to me.
So yeah, Brad's coming up. I am still way out of it. Joel and I are both way out of it, and Jimmy's still in the lead. He's still in first. He's got 83. I should say Jimmy and Jack are in the lead. Quick calendar update for you Red Card Radio heads. Next week is Christmas week. I was going to say in America, but it's everywhere. And so
most everywhere.
I mean, it's Christmas regardless of where you are, whether you celebrate or whether your country celebrates. It's a different question. But our recording schedule is such that we probably won't record on time next week. What we're thinking is that we'll probably record late in the week and have an episode released on Friday. And so a week from today, when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it when it releases. So that means in Discord, if you're making picks, you'll need to pick the weekend games and the Boxing Day fixtures. We will ping the Discord about all that information. We don't want anybody to miss anything. So it's going to be around 18 and 19, 17, 18, whatever.
13, 18.
17, 18, whatever they are. But the Boxing Day fixtures, you'll have to pick as well. So just be aware of that. Other than that, that's all we got for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back next week with something late in the week. Just keep your eyes out. We'll probably keep you guys posted with either YouTube post or social media, things like that. But until then, hit us up on social media. Get your picks in on Discord. That guy is at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at redcard_radio. And we will be back next week again with something. Until then, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good one.